Did you know that for this movie, Santa refers to his reindeer as ladies? While normally depicted as male, it usually stands to reason that his reindeer are female because only female reindeer keep their antlers in the winter. Male reindeer shed their antlers and grow back new ones in the spring. So Red One looked like a really fun time just based on the trailers, and it is a little early for Christmas movies in my opinion. I don't usually watch Christmas movies until after Thanksgiving, so this kind of goes against what I believe in, but I knew it was going to be a fun time. I went to see this movie last night with a couple of really good friends, and we had a great time. It was just a really magical Christmas fun movie, and I have 3 things in this movie that I liked, and the last thing is definitely my favorite. I really enjoyed the story and the mythology behind this movie. The story is just very different, very unique. It's definitely something that got my attention right off the bat, with Santa being kidnapped, and the fate of Christmas rests in the hands of Cal and Jack, who are very opposite of each other, and they are forced to work together, and Cal is just a very stoic, very serious guy. And then Jack was one of my favorite characters in the movie, portrayed by Chris Evans. He was just a very good tracker, but also pretty dishonest, pretty shady. Like, definitely not the person you would want to team up with to find Santa. There's some pretty good story development, pretty good character development throughout. I would say my favorite part of the movie, though, was the mythology behind Christmas. A lot of people know Santa's origins, the reindeer, Christmas, all that, North Pole. We had to expand a little bit more into the mythology because the organization in this movie that this movie focused on was Mora, the Mythological Oversight and Restoration Authority. So, they're in charge of all the mythological creatures, and humans are not very aware that they exist, but they are very real, and they are showcased very well in this movie with a few really cool cameos that showed up. I'm sure I missed a few more mythological characters that showed up in short cameo forms, but if I see this movie again, which I probably will once it goes on streaming, I will definitely pay more attention because I think they add some really cool Easter eggs in this movie, and I missed them unfortunately. Aside from Santa, we got Krampus, who I am a big fan of Krampus. Not only the the mythology behind Krampus, but also I really love the movie from 2015, Krampus. That movie was great. Gave me a little more insight into this side of Christmas, but also I knew about the mythology behind him, the stories, the legends. And being German, I couldn't help but, research it a little more. And, to sum it up, he is basically the anti-Santa. He punishes the bad kids, like that's his main priority. One character in the movie that I've never heard of that I had to do some research into was Grilla, who is an Icelandic creature from way back around 16th century, something like that. Her version in this movie is very dumbed down versus the story of Grilla. I mean, it was a kid-friendly movie, so obviously they're not going to have what Krampus was like. And the stories, also Grilla ate children. So like she's a lot like Krampus, but I think she goes a step beyond Krampus. I like the solid bad guy with Grilla, and then we got to see her in her true form at the end. That was pretty awesome. The second thing I liked about this movie was the overall message. There are a lot of different ways you can approach Christmas. There's a lot of different ways you can approach what Christmas means. And I like the approach that this movie took with just kind of a different perspective. We got to see the whole naughty and nice list thing. Like, there's no perfect person in the world. Like, everybody has some nice in them, everyone has some naughty in them. Like, making a list seems a bit arbitrary, seems a bit pointless, because we're not all nice, but we're not all naughty. So like, that was kind of a cool perspective. And then also the main one was the reason why Cal was really just he was kind of struggling with his faith a little bit. He's struggling with why he does what he does, and kind of losing the magic of Christmas, the Christmas spirit, the Christmas hope, because he saw all these adults who are just constantly fighting over stuff. They're completely forgetting what Christmas is all about, and all they care about is getting the next biggest thing. It's all about money and commercialism and just more and more stuff, and not the true meaning of Christmas that Cal and Santa have been, believing in. They have been believing in for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. This movie was kind of like a journey for Cal, that he kind of got his faith back. He kind of got his faith back in humanity and why he started this journey with Santa all those years ago. He just couldn't see the magic anymore because all he saw was greedy adults, and Santa just kept reminding him that it's for the kids, like Christmas is for the children, and these adults at one point were children. There's a child inside every adult, but life is beating them down, they've gone through some crazy things, and that child kind of just got buried underneath all of it. They forgot about the happiness and the joy that comes with Christmas when you're a child. Like this, the innocence, the magic of it all. I think it's something we all just need to be reminded of. Like, life's gonna get crazy, life's gonna get difficult. Someday we'll all have kids of our own, and you know, we all want to act like a child sometimes. We all want to have that childlike innocence and childlike wonder, but reality, unfortunately, sometimes makes us prioritize being an adult over wanting to be a child and just be carefree and not care about anything, responsibilities and family. Like it just shows you like the progression of life and how sweet and innocent and truly special being a child is, especially around Christmas. And then I'd say my favorite part of this movie was I found the Krampus slop to be the most entertaining part of the movie for me. You got The Rock, who's a big dude, going against Krampus, and it's just a very entertaining, very fun, very slapstick, very just comedic part of the movie. I really had a fun time in this movie. Check out Red One with your friends and family, bring your kids. I think they're gonna love it too. It's just a really fun Christmas family movie for everyone. So for Red One, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10 Mudflaps. Remember, leave me a thumbs up and drop in the comments below. Who is your favorite Christmas mythological character? See you next time.